break into my car. Two different scenarios. One is somebody breaks into my car. Let's say the neighbor's kid is 15 years old. He comes and breaks into my car because he sees the gun laying on my seat, and he takes it, plays with it, shoots himself or shoots, Timmy down the street. Am I responsible? First, let's ask that.
No. So they can't be if a child gains access to a firearm, they can't be violating any law. Meaning they can't be breaking in your car, they can't be breaking in your house, they can't be committing a theft, they can't be doing any of those things. And again, the code reads, was gained by entering property in violation of this code. So if they gained access to whatever property where your gun is located, it's a defense for you that they violated.
He broke the law by breaking in my car, therefore I'm not responsible.
Absolutely. That's right.
Okay.
That's right.
But if I invite little Timmy over and take him to the grocery store with me, and he reaches down and he hits a trigger and shoots himself, then I'm liable.
Yeah, and he doesn't even have to shoot himself. If he reaches down and grabs a weapon and happens to even shoot it, and somebody calls the cops, you've made that firearm readily available, a dischargeable firearm readily available to Timmy. Yeah,
I think that's a very important law to highlight on. It doesn't matter if they grab the gun or shoot it or use it. It's if it's accessible to a child.
Right. I mean, in the code,
you're breaking a law. Basically, if you have a gun in your house, in your car, in your purse, anywhere that is accessible to a child, whether they use it or not, you're immediately violating the law.
The child has to gain access to it. So the child has to somehow get a hold of the weapon is how I would read that.
Okay.
And that could be as simple as touching it. Doesn't mean they have to shoot it or hold it or hide it or carry it. If they access, and that's an interesting word that the legislature uses, they have access. They've accessed that weapon.
Mm-hmm.
That's a crime.
Because then what makes me think of, and again, you could start cutting hairs when it comes to this kind of stuff. But I think about if you had a gun, like I have younger kids and have a gun, and if you have a gun inside the closet on a top shelf that they can't really reach, I mean that's not accessible for them, correct?
Well, and the code says left the firearm in a place to which the person knew or should have known the child would gain access. So if you have a 3-year-old child and you hide in the top of your closet, there's no reason to believe that a 3-year-old is going to figure out how to climb to the top. Number one, how to climb that high. Number two, how to climb that high in your closet.
Right.
I think you're, safe. But now if you're talking about a 7-year-old, that could be a little different. They're a little more creative. They could gain access to the top of your closet.
Right.
And should you have known that they could gain access to the top of your closet?
Right.
And I think that, again, goes to that reasonableness that we talked about in self-defense is should have known. That can get interesting. And I think that's directly related to age of your child.